Tip number 3, tempo, nuance, and the release of chords. It's always important to pay attention to tempo, of course. But in the modern tuning, there's not a lot going on in the tuning that you need to listen for. So it's easy to play fast because there's no reason to play slow because you're not missing anything. But in this tuning, the composers wrote with certain nuances and things going on that you do want to hear. And so sometimes it's a good idea just to pull back the tempo a little bit so you can hear these little things. Also, sometimes in this tuning, for some reason in this tuning more than the modern tuning, I don't know why it is exactly, but the tuning sometimes sets the tempo for you. So for example, in the Funeral March of Chopin, you get this rocking motion, right? The slow chord to the fast chord. Slow, fast. And that sets the tempo for you. That doesn't happen in the modern tuning, only in this tuning. And so it's really pretty interesting. And the vibrations are such that you have to kind of go with that tempo. So let's do it wrong. Let's try a little bit less. Let's go a little too slow, let's say. Doesn't make sense. A little too fast. Yeah, it doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right, right? So it has to be that tempo in this particular tuning. That those vibrations kind of make you do that. It's pretty cool. So another thing is release of chords. Chords do the same kind of thing. How you end a piece, for example, will be dictated sometimes by the tuning. So for example, in this Chopin Nocturne, it kind of has to be that timing, da-da, so that it coincides with those vibrations. Again, if you do it early, yeah, it doesn't feel right. Late, doesn't feel right. You could go really late. But you have to wait a long time. And that's okay. But the point is that if you pay attention to that, a lot of times the tuning will actually tell you when to release the chords. But you have to listen. The tempo also is dictated a little bit by how much you want to hear the nuances. So a lot of times, for example, people in the modern tuning will play this Bach prelude extremely fast, like this. Which is fine. For me, when I first started playing Bach in college, I didn't care for it too much because it felt like typing to me. It's all the same until I discovered, well, Temperament. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, okay, this whole new world opens up. And if you play that piece that fast, you miss all of the amazing nuance that Bach wrote into it. Spent a lot of time probably trying to think about and do and write. Little things, just little pulls, and it's hard to describe. Little nuances, that's all the best I can say. That if you play it too fast, you won't hear it. And that only happens in this tuning. Now the same prelude, but this time a little slower, and notice how the subtle nuances become much more enjoyable in this tuning. Also notice how the big chords at the end of the piece become more vibrant and dramatic.